I've heard several different atheists give a lot of differing advice on how to handle letting religious friends and family know that you're not a believer. I know that a lot of you in the Crocodile Army have already cleared this hurdle in the past, so if you went through an experience that you want to share, or if you want to give some advice that helped you in a comment or video response, I think it would be great for those of you who have not yet done it and may be dreading it. The invitation to share your experiences and thoughts goes for every video I make, of course, but it goes double for this one, because this is a topic I often find myself disagreeing with my fellow atheists on in some way or another. Am I crazy? Well, you be the judge. There's one very important thing to keep in mind when making the decision about when, where, and to whom we share our lack of religious beliefs with. That is that unlike most religions, there's absolutely nothing about being an atheist that would ever require us to suffer for not believing in any God. I know that we all want to be open in every aspect of our lives as much as we can, and if that's of primary importance to you, then that's an easy decision, and the rest is just finding a good method. If, however, you're coming out atheist in a situation where you think there's a chance you could get kicked out of the house, or lose a job, or even worse, that your parents will stop paying for college, then I think you should give it a second thought, at least for that moment. If you want to divulge it at some point, then you definitely should find a way to do that, but not until you're in a less vulnerable position. Leave the voluntary suffering to believers. I know what some people are thinking at this point. It probably goes something along the lines of, well, screw that, if they don't like it, then that's their problem. To that I say, you are absolutely right, it is their problem. The trick is that while there are many ways to express your dissent against religion in ways that are invisible to those who may decide to punish you for non-belief, there are no ways to pay for college without money coming from somewhere. You may see it as a self-respect thing, as I've heard some atheists frame it, but I see my way of looking at it as self-preservation, and this is coming from someone who has rarely been in a position to fear any consequences from non-belief. You can undermine and rebel against faith in 1,000 different ways to preserve your self-respect, while biding your time to actually be open about your lack of belief. You can even ease into it by taking up the cause of humanity before that. What do I mean by that? Well, there are a lot of teachings of religion that you can easily make a case against under the banner of fighting for humanity, and you wouldn't have to proclaim your lack of faith to fight it. If your religious conservative family members are talking about how gay people are second-class citizens, you can disagree with that without laying all of your ideological cards on the table. Some of your arguments might carry more weight if they think you are still religious, yet you are still fighting for the cause of humanity over fundamentalism, and there's value in that. In the more purely political vein, some Americans think poor people are all just lazy sponges off the government, and you could learn about how many of the poor are poor because of the type of healthcare system we have in the United States. You can even use Bible verses as a tool to argue for increased health insurance availability. Think about it. You can use a book you know is wrong as a tool to convince people who think that the book is right. These possibilities sound deliciously subversive on a lot of levels, don't they? So when going about the process of publicly proclaiming your lack of faith, think of a game plan that you think will lead to the best outcome for you. You could test the waters with some of these tips before putting it all out there. Once you feel a bit more safe in coming out atheist, do so in a way that makes it clear that other than religious beliefs, you're still the same person, and for you that this difference in your thinking is as much about being pro-humanity as being anti-religion, if you in fact do believe that. Just so I'm clear about this, I do want everyone to be as open about their atheism as they feel they can be and want to be. There is safety and power in numbers, and I don't want anyone to feel like they're living a lie forever. All I'm asking is that you be smart about it, and do it with as little drama and chance of personal consequences as possible. In fact, that's probably the best thing that the Jesus story ever taught us. We don't need to volunteer to be crucified for our lack of belief.